them. It's fucking amazing.
Alright, guys. So, as we were speaking about earlier, I was just going through how we all have to be emotionally aware of ourselves and emotionally strong and psychologically strong, and then we could become very, very spiritually strong. That's kind of like how you want. That was the gist of what we were talking about earlier. And then I was talking, my wife, Casey, came into the mix, and then we ended the shit to go take a walk. I live in Florida, and I'm in a kind of what are we? We live? It's not a trailer park. Where I live is in the woods with like houses, streets.
They're like unnamed streets and
there's no regulations out here.
A lot of them are like
Nothing's like codes and regulations on how you're supposed to set up like a grid and stuff, and there's none of that out here where I live. There's no code enforcement. There's no city hall that tells you you can't do this or you can't do that. Everything is fucking nigger rigged. Everything is like that. You have no idea if you're on someone else's property or not. It's crazy out here. I lived out here though in these woods for 5 years by myself. I understand the rules. This is Florida. This is a stand your ground state, and that means that like if someone comes on your property and starts beating your ass, trying to rob you, or has a gun themselves, you're legally allowed to kill people that are on your property if they're trying to fuck you up, right? That's what happened to Trayvon. Trayvon Martin was popped by that one dude. Trayvon Martin was beating the shit out of Homeboy. Homeboy pulled out his piece and shot the dude because he was fully in his rights to do that, because he was like the neighborhood watch, and he wasn't in the right, but he was in his rights to pop Homeboy, right? Because that's how we roll in Florida. It's good and bad. I'd rather have a law like that though than a law like fucking where they say in many, many northern states just to give up everything you have to people and hope that you don't get robbed and raped. Right? Alright, so that's the prelude to this fucking story, dude. So we're walking. I wanted to show my girl. I lived in the woods out here for 5 years. While I taught myself ceremonial ritual magic and all types of ill shit. I lived in the woods halfway time, and then like with my aunt in her trailer out here half the time. I also was bougie homeless style with a car too, right? So, but I genuinely enjoy being out in these woods. This is where I accrued all of my spiritual abilities. This is where I made all my music at. This is where the magic happened. But also, this is actually where I found how magic works, and I found out and discovered a lot of things because I was all alone for years in the fucking woods. And all you see is, when I was here last time, was what I would call daywalkers. And it's zombie people that are on a mixture of fentanyl and methamphetamines. And last time there was a whole street of nothing but tents of homeless people. Like a street that went down for miles and miles. We're talking about probably over 100 homeless people in like this camp. Everybody does, and they're all on drugs and shit. And when you're a homeless drug user and you run out of money, what do? Well, you can suck a cock, or you could rob people, right? So like I'm assuming that while I was gone, some shit went down and motherfuckers was getting robbed. And anyways, me and my girl, I took my girl into back, like into the, I wanted to show her like actually the woods where I would hang out at, why I like the woods, why I like it out here so much. She has not seen it like that. She's only seen the street, like the street you drive on. I guess only insane people really like to take trips into the fucking woods like that. Hey,
Like the two of us?
hey baby, would you like to go for a walk in the woods?
Absolutely. I would love to go for a walk in the woods.
So what happens is that we end up on someone else's property. I didn't know that it was a dude's property because there was no house anywhere near.
Yeah.
But there was like a lot of shade, very nice oak trees, beautiful trees, blocked the sun rays out. And I was showing my girl just how beautiful it can be out here. And what'd you say? No, I peeped him. He was watching us since we. Anyways, my girl is not observant.
Yeah.
She has no idea about like actually the outside world we were just really talking about. Her mother programmed her to be afraid of like the world. You're not retarded. But your mom programmed you to never understand like anything outside of like your bedroom, basically. And this is unsettling but true. It's very, very unsettling but true. My girl was programmed to believe that she was like just completely nothing but weak, never be able to like accomplish anything on her own, shit like that, and taught to like not believe in herself. And also, your parents did you no favors, like they never took you into dangerous areas like the woods and shit and taught you survival skills, taught you that you might come across a guy with a pistol in his hand, which is what happened. And I peeped it immediately. Homeboy had his piece on him. It was in his hand. I believe it was a P22 fucking SIG, if I'm not mistaken, but it was a very, very small pistol. And I saw the guy immediately. Like we were like chilling just under the trees and shit, and I was teaching my girl about the woods and the beauty of like the woods and shit. And the dude had a house about an acre away from all this. But so like there's no demarcations out here of like anything about like you have no idea who owns what and shit. Right? It's just insanity, dude, out here. But dude starts rolling up on us, walking up on us real slow. And I saw that as soon as I saw him, I looked at his arms before I even looked at him, like in the face. Because people walk around with pistols and shit. Because there are free-range crazy people out here that, you know, are on fucking a lot of drugs and they're looking for more. And sometimes these cocksuckers can be dangerous. You feel me? I think the guy was probably robbed before, maybe even recently, because he was shaking.
Yeah.
And he was very nervous. And...
It was like a cat with his hair standing up.
Yeah. It was just very strange. And the guy was like... I said, hey, what's up, man? I was like, is this your property around here? Are we on your property? And he goes, yes. And I said, oh, shit. My bad, bro. I was like, yo, we'll get off of your property. That's my bad. I didn't see. I don't understand. Like, there's no demarcations out here. My girl goes, so, what did you say, babe?
You were going to ask us, you said along those lines, but I asked him, so do you want us to leave?
My girl goes, so would you like us to leave?
I didn't notice
She didn't even see the fucking pistol in his hand.
Like, in hindsight, I remember seeing it, but like,
it was, the guy was like fucking, I don't know, 10 to 15 feet away from us. I saw him from fucking about a football field away from, I immediately saw, I knew what pistol he had in his hand. She's like 10 feet away before she even notices that she could have been shot right in the head.
This is why my mother's a little concerned.
Well, no, your mom programmed you to be fucking, like, weak. Not retarded, but unaware of things about the world. And unaware that people, I don't know, man, like, your mom just programmed you to not understand a lot of things. And what she did was she gave you, instead of instilling confidence in you, she took all of your confidence from you, which is horrible to do to somebody. Which is why we will be building confidence, and why I'm so adamant about doing rituals, man. Because the rituals will give you confidence, because you will start to see really what you are, which is much more than a human being. But you're much more than a human being, a crippled human being, which is all you've been like taught to believe you are. And maybe next time you'll be able to see that a guy, like, from me to you, has a fucking pistol in his hand. Would you like me to leave your property, sir? But it was so sweet though, and like,
Really autistic as fuck.
but it was the most autistic, it really was the most autistic thing I've ever seen you do. Hilarious, so at the same time, we weren't in danger because I understood that the dude was shaking and he was scared of us.
Now that I know his gun, what I said was so much more hilarious.
But would you like us to leave, sir?
Imagine if he thought
No, come on in. Like,
I just have a gun on my leg.
no, he had a gun. Wait, I don't think he had a piece on his leg. That's the holster that the piece came out of.
Yeah. The holster.
But he had my girl did not see a guy with a goddamn, dude, you're not allowed outside. What the fuck? No, I'm sorry, that's what your mom did to you. Like, your mom said you're not allowed outside, and now you don't understand, like, what the outside world is like.
Outside.
But, anyways,
I got Rapunzel, dude.
honestly, I think that's what we spoke about that. I don't feel like I want to talk about our trials and tribulations with our mothers and families and shit on YouTube publicly like that, right? That's more like a whole long thing that we could talk about one day. But let's just say that our families have fucked us up. And I believe that families fuck everybody up, right? There's a whole generation that we call the boomer generation. And every single boomer that you meet are horrible to their children because they're the most ignorant. They didn't want to be parents, but they were raised by very religious people that told them that they had to get married by a certain age. You go to school, then you get married. If you have sex, Jesus better be in the room watching this, and it better be guided by Jesus, and you better not use prophylactics. If you don't dump a load in her, then you're going to hell, good sir. And you, madam, if you fucking even think about having an abortion, because, basically the boomers were taught by their dumbass fucking parents. Their dumbass parents fucked them up through religion, right? They had children they didn't want. They had them too soon. And my parents are boomers. My girl's parents are boomers. Very, very similar in styles of behavior, of being people, human beings. One, they never take accountability for anything. My mother has never said sorry to anybody in her life. Honestly. I've gotten her to say sorry to me for shit that she's done that's been very fucked up. Twice when she was drunk, because I verbally talked her into the corner where she could no longer try to jujitsu her way out of it. My mother was 10 sheets to the window when both times that she said she's sorry. In her fucking life, my mom's 64 years old. Okay? My mother I've never seen her say sorry to anybody in my entire life. Casey, her mom, I'm quite sure, has never said sorry to anybody, ever, and I know this. Don't even have to ask, I just know. If your parents were boomers, chances are there's no accountability.
But afterwards.
But listen.
I'm sorry, but.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's all your fault. And I had to fuck your mind up completely because you were just, it's just how the world is, and I have to train you and make you know that you're completely weak and will never accomplish anything. Like, she was just my girl was just telling me, like, shit that her mother had told her about how you're supposed to, like, how you're supposed to be, like, dishonest with your partner about money when you're in a real committed relationship, which is it's the biggest thing that will destroy a relationship the fastest way, is being dishonest about finances when you live with a person in a committed relationship. Her mom trained her to be dishonest to her last partner, which destroyed the relationship.